I'm Bonnie Kubica. I own B Catering. We're downtown Ptbo at Charlotte and Park. Today I'll be speaking about how do you know when in your business you feel comfortable that you may want to expand or move. I started the business in 1998. I had a business partner. 7 years ago I bought her out, and at that point, a year later, my current landlord actually approached me to see if I wanted to expand and move the business. And at that time, I didn't feel like I was ready with just having bought my partner out. So he came back the next year, and I said, well, fine, I'll go and have a look. And it was a much larger space. And in the meantime, I had really changed and developed the business and felt that we were at the maximum that we could possibly produce out of that kitchen, and that we were either going to stay exactly where we were and struggling with older equipment that was getting older, or we take the big leap of faith, and if I could secure the financing, I said that we would go for it. So I did. I went to the CFDC, which is a Community Futures Development, which amazingly is right across the street from my new location, and did a proposal and went in and did all my marketing research. And it was really exciting developing the business plan because I'd actually never done that before. When we started the business in 1998, we just opened. We just literally got the kitchen going and we just opened and cooked. That's what we did. It's been a complete whirlwind. It's been wonderful, the support of the community that we've had for B Catering. A lot of our plan was to develop the casserole and ready-made meal end of our business, and it has grown more than we expected, more than we predicted, which is totally exciting because I love that end of it. I love feeding families and making sure people get healthy food. That's all really primarily based on local ingredients, and then on top of that, developing the catering and having a whole new clientele that is coming in because of our increased visibility. So one of the reasons why I really love our new location is because we are really visible. People drive by every day, and there's lots of business clients that are all around there, so they come in for lunch. So we really built that framework that we would be open for a light breakfast and lunch and coffee, and not open for dinner. And it's worked really well, and it's building every week, pretty much between 10 and 20% a week. So it's really good. Having a new space that is like 6 times as big as my old space, there's a lot of things that were surprising, like the hydro is one. That's a big one. And the amount of cleaning, like the amount of just labor sort of behind the scenes that is, part of overhead. One of the ways that I found myself really considering the move was actually my landlord, Ed, and he really inspired me to look at the space and take the leap. And my partner, Simon, my personal life partner, is an architectural technologist. So we looked at the space and he was able to say, okay, this is doable. This is what we can do in there. And then from there, we got really excited. And I've always been a person that is not afraid to do things and take chances. And even though I would never do that with my business just blindly, but I knew my business well enough. And the fact that we had such consistent growth that I knew that we would be able to take this on and really do it together, Simon and I, and negotiating, a reasonable rent and things like that was helpful. But one thing that I did say to the landlord was I have to make sure that I can secure financing, because this is going to cost a lot of money to put 2 kitchens in and to make it look like we want to make it look, because I'm not doing this again. Like, that was it. I'm not just going to make it hodgepodge and then, maybe 5 years down the line go, oh, okay, well, maybe now we can do the tiling. So yeah, it was definitely when I went to the CFDC and when we developed the plan for the business, that's when I really envisioned it. And I'm really good at visualization and knowing. I've always had faith that what I'm doing, I know it will be successful because we work so hard at it and within it. We kind of allowed the space to be what it was going to be. Like, instead of just forcing it and saying, well, no, every night we're open till 8 p.m. It's like, okay, it's actually dead between 3 and 6 and nobody's coming in. And so, you know, you really have to have that like sort of faith and just, okay, we're going to adjust the hours for now. And then that way that helps a little ease the payroll, it eases overhead, and then maybe work your way up after you get better known in that space. So it wasn't too hard of a decision, but mainly it was knowing that I had the financing to do it. Like, I got what I asked for, which was wonderful. Some of it was actually interest-free. And also I used Ptbo Economic Development, and Elizabeth Telecki, when she was there, she really helped us help with the business plan and wording, because I'm not a business speaky person. It's not my background. My background's actually art and English. So I wanted it to be as professional as I could possibly have it. So she really helped me with that and to narrow it down, because we actually only had like a weekend to pull it together, because that was the deadline, and the landlord wanted an answer, and I was afraid he was going to rent it to somebody else because it was just such an amazing space. So yeah, we just did it. That's how we did it. So use people that know their area. For instance, we were just about to open, and the gas guy happened to come by because he was inspecting all the equipment getting installed. He said, well, your gas meter is nowhere near big enough to even run the pilot lights on your stoves. And I was like, what? Like, they've been working for months on our space and nobody said anything. And I almost, again, like, fell on the floor. I'm like, he's like, it's not even gonna run. So I said, well, you have to find us a gas meter. And he said there was none in Ontario, which I said, well, that's preposterous. How can there be no larger gas meters in Ontario? But they did find me one after about a week of really serious stress. So they put that in, and then they said they would have to replace all the lines in February, which they did on a Friday. But so that was one surprise. I hope what I offered today was helpful. My only advice is to, pursue your dreams, be careful, but also be ambitious.